Hi, my name's Karen and I work for Cernit, a polymer clay manufacturer based in Belgium, distributed throughout the UK by Clayground. Today we're going to show you how to make a skull, which can be used to make charms for bracelets or pendants for necklaces, or here we have a brooch. Also, we've made some more small ones to put onto hair clips. And we're going to show you how to make a basic skull. Okay, let's make a skull. So we're going to be making a basic skull shape, which is going to be like this one here. But once you've mastered how to make the basic skull shape, you can then go on to making smaller skulls, which can be used for charms, for bracelets, and bigger ones for brooches, pendants. The choice is yours, but we're going to be doing a pendant. So I've taken some black clay out of the packet, and as you can see, the Cernit has these ridges, which is really good for proportion sizes. So if you were making a small one, you would probably need one ridge, then cut in half. For this pendant, we're going to use two. So what I've done is I've cut away two of the ridges, and I've already conditioned the clay just to save time. I've rolled it into a ball, and we're going to start making the basic shape. So once you've rolled your clay into a ball, I'm just rolling at one end so that we have a smaller end and the other end is fatter. So the fat end will be where the forehead should be, and the smaller end will be where the chin will be. So it's a little bit like a pear shape. So there you have your basic shape there, and we're going to start by putting in the eye sockets. I'm using here a craft tool, and I'm using the other end of the craft tool, which is a rounded, smooth end. You can use paintbrush or anything really with a rounded, smooth end. So I'm going to start by pressing the tool into the clay. I'm pressing and turning, so there's one eye socket, and there's the other. So the next thing we'll be doing is the nose. So I'm using a cocktail stick, and I'm just making two little ridges there for the nose, and then we're going to take a sharp tool, or you can use a cocktail stick or a knife, and we're just going to make some ridges across the bottom, which will be the mouth. Just done 5 ridges there going down, and then we want one ridge going across the middle. If you've distorted it a little bit, just give it a little press just to reshape. Now we're going to decorate, and I'm going to decorate it using some micro powders, or you can use acrylic paint. It works in exactly the same way. So I'm going to take some of this micro powder. Basically this is just like a iridescent chalk, just a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to lightly sweep the iridescent powder over the skull. You don't want too much because you just want enough to give a nice sheen whilst still seeing some of the black underneath. So once we've done that, just go into the eyes a little bit. We're going to decorate it some more with some stick-on gems, and we're going to use these for the eyes. So just with a little tool, as they can be a little bit fiddly, I'm going to place one of these gems in each eye. So one in that one, one in the other. And now we're going to create some little cracks on the head like this one. So using a sharp tool, or you can use a cocktail stick. Doesn't matter where you start, you just want these random lines over the head, just so they resemble cracks. So as many as you want. And then for a little bit more of a added decoration, we're going to apply some spots just around the eye socket. So I'm using a cocktail stick, just dipped into a tiny little bit of acrylic paint. I'm using silver, and just around the eyes, just some tiny little dots. Then for the final bit, we're going to add the finding, which is the bit there that sticks in the head. And all that is some jewellery wire. So I've taken six inches of jewellery wire, and I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to wrap the jewellery wire around the paintbrush. So just leaving a little bit there at the end like that, and then just wind the jewellery wire around the paintbrush several times, and then stop just so you have enough wire left at each end to then wind around like that. So pulling the wire off the brush. If it's a little bit long, you can just trim off with a pair of scissors or some jewellery tools, jewellery pliers. And then I'm going to pop the finding in the top of the skull, being careful not to distort the skull. So that goes into the top, and then you can place onto a tile or a baking tray and bake in the oven. Bake in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes. Once your skull has been baked, once it's thoroughly cooled, you can then thread your jewellery cord through the finding and add some beads, and there it is, your very own skull pendant.